Okay, Dan, what do you make of hearing all that from Woody Johnson?
Yeah, Justin Fields' time as the starting quarterback with the Jets is over. I mean, there's no way, as a head coach, Aaron Glenn, you could hear the owner say the things that he said about the quarterback's performance and then have him go out and continue to be your starting quarterback. And if you're Justin Fields, there's no way that you can, once again, hear those comments and think that organizationally there's any belief in you. When we sat with the Jets, it was very clear from Aaron Glenn's perspective he wanted Justin Fields to be his guy. He talked about competing against him when he was in Detroit and Chicago and how difficult and challenging that was. It hasn't been the case outside of really week one in New York.
Yeah.
Garrett Wilson's injury, the offensive line hasn't performed. It's not just a, hey, quarterback, get there and play well and everything's going to be fixed. But there's no way that the Jets can continue with Justin Fields as their starting quarterback after the owner publicly has said what he said.
Yeah, he did, of course, back up Aaron Glenn, as you heard, too. So that, at least, is that for now.
Yeah.
All right, let's read and react. Going around some information that we want to get to. Let's go to Kansas City, where the offense has found its rhythm just in time. The Chiefs have only played 5 games with Rashee Rice over the last 2 seasons, but they've won all 5. With him in the lineup, they average about a yard more per attempt, despite their average throw being shorter. That's because they're averaging a yard more after the catch in the game with Rice. Mina, the Chiefs faced the Commanders on Monday night. How does Rashee Rice match up against this Washington defense?
Poorly for Washington, to be clear. Which is great to see Rashee Rice back. He looked like himself. You saw Mahomes' trust in him, particularly at the goal line, but he only scratched the surface of what he's capable of in that Chiefs offense. And if this Washington defense plays a ton of cover 3, which I expect they will, he's going to chew that up. Crossers in particular, look out for that. You talked about the yards after the catch. How many times do we see Rashee Rice take like an 8-yard in-breaker and turn it into 15+? I think they're going to get explosives with him against this Washington defense.
Let's go to Philly, where 2-time Super Bowl champion Brandon Graham officially made the announcement that he'll be returning to the Eagles.
Man, we coming back, baby.
Oh, give it up, give it up.
Coming back one time. I'm excited, man. I am. No expectations, just excited just to, get after it. Of course, I believe in the team because that's a big part of it too. I'm excited just to get back into the chaos and the culture.
All right, new on NFL Live, Graham's teammate A.J. Brown with another cryptic post today saying, quote, using me but not using me. Okay, goodness. Marcus, did the Eagles bring Graham back to help settle the locker room? Like, he's going to help with this?
Man, I'm not getting into that AJ. I was about to curse.
Well,
Yeah, good job, good job.
I was about to bleep
I think Brandon Graham is
Great.
coming back, one, because this defensive line is young. I think they can use a little bit of leadership. Obviously, Josh Sweat departed. Hopefully try to boost the pass rush. The Eagles only have 9 sacks on the season, by the way, at this point.
Yeah.
And they should be a better unit, but I don't know how much he's going to bolster that, but he will be a presence in that locker room. He will be a guy on the defensive side, brings a lot of energy, and we know how he plays the game, so hopefully he can bring something to him.
All right, let's turn our attention to the Packers
What's so funny,
now.
Mina?
Well, just
I'm
that
still laughing
A.J.
at
Brown.
Brown.
Using me but not using me.
I think we should all start.
Like-
So
It's like 4 for a buck.
15 yards, I know.
Bruh.
And then he's going to be asked about it and be like, no, that wasn't about football.
I was talking about.
That's why sometimes we just don't need to put nothing up there.
Wide receiver brain
Yeah.
is his specific
I love
thing.
how much you hate social media.
Marcus is off X now, by the way. If you're trying to reach him, it's off his phone.
kick
He's
rocks.
not kick rocks.
I like Instagram.
Oh my
Cool.
goodness.
He says,
Okay.
TikTok.
The Packers.
I'm
you're
on
big
TikTok, too.
TikTok.
My kids
6'7".
told me to get on TikTok.
All right.
Hold
the
on,
Packers
Boogie.
ranked 10th and 15th in some key offensive categories
We gonna get
on
fired.
third downs in the red zone
We
and
outta
the
here.
overall offensive efficiency. But this year, they've taken the leap to an elite offense, ranking top 5 in all of those. That's led the Packers to the best record in the NFC through week 7. Those were just numbers that were in my full screen, okay? Dan, why has this Packers offense been able to find success?
Well, I think the big thing is Jordan Love's been clutch. He hasn't been a rocket ship this year, but when he's had to play his best football, specifically you get into those second halves and third downs and fourth downs and got to have it situations, he's made a lot of big time throws and also hasn't made critical errors and or mistakes. It's obvious Tucker Kraft is the go-to guy right now in those situations, and Jordan does a good job of using his eyes to help free things up. Bottom of the screen, he's peeking at Dobbs. He can throw the slant if he wants. He doesn't want to. This is 2 plays in 1. You got quick game, but then that backside screen. And Tucker Kraft really has evolved with his feel for how plays need to be operated. 3rd and long. We've seen Jordan Love do this so consistently as a young part of his career. Quick snap. And that has sped him up so much, and everybody drops out underneath, but he's so talented he's tried to fit the football. No, it's 3rd and 8. Take the check down. Kraft does a good job. This is the play of the game. Short motion to back. No one really goes, so it's like, is it man or is it zone? Then he peeks up top, and he sees the distribution after the motion. Now it's man. He goes alert, alert, alert. Just watch the throw to Kraft on this outbreaking 7 route, this corner, this deep out, the feel. 1, 2, 3, ball out. Like, he's letting this ball go right now, and it's just beautifully placed to space. They don't win that football game if not for that throw because that's 4th down. You know, like they don't feel great about the field goal. So just his willingness to kind of play his best football in those biggest moments and see his tight end, that's a growth in this year for Jordan Love.
And I love that Matt LaFleur gave him that opportunity because he has been conservative at times in the past.
Yeah.
And I was really encouraged by his approach to 4th down this
What do
game.
you got? What do you got?
Packers offense is great, and like anyone who thinks they're not or that Jordan Love isn't playing well isn't watching Jordan Love.
Right.
But sometimes people say, well, why aren't they better, right? Like we see the numbers, they're top 5 in it, but it feels like they could hit another gear. So the thing that is the one area where they're not great is when Jordan Love is under pressure. When he's kept clean, he has an 80% completion percentage, which is absurd. When he's under pressure, that drops to 27th. And I was digging into some of his pressure numbers, and something that really jumped out to me, and I want to get your thoughts, both your guys' thoughts on why this is. When Jordan Love is under pressure this year, and they've had some issues with the offensive line and injuries,
big time.
he is thrown to downfield open targets less than 2% of the time, which is the worst in the NFL. To put that in context, Jared Goff throws to downfield targets that are open like over 20% of the time. So just 1.9% of the time, guys are open when he's under pressure. Do you feel like it's okay, this offense is super schemed up, or they don't have guys who win? Because to me, that's the one thing that's kind of holding this offense back right now.
I do think the stat is great. I do think that this offense is a little bit schemed up. They haven't taken as many shots this year. Now, Watson, like when does he come back?
That's big.
They haven't connected on them with Golden. He had another one that he missed this past, just a yard long. And so, you know, they haven't gotten into like their play action game as much this year as they, you know, last year it was so underneath.
Many shots from play action.
Yeah, and so I don't know why.
And that's how guys are open.
Yeah, and it would minimize the pressure. I don't know why they haven't done that as much this year as they've done it in the past.
Yeah, great points. Josh Jacobs getting going is big with that too. Remember last year he was kind of the catalyst in these type of games. And we were talking about it earlier. I was like, man, these it's just to your point, Mina, and you just answered my question. Something's missing.
Yeah.
It's the explosive plays, right? And I think Christian Watson is going to be the difference.
Sneaky big
because
deal.
you cannot, like the way Jordan Love likes to play football, at least having somebody that is a threat to take the top off of the defense every single play, I think just gives him more confidence in the underneath stuff. Dobbs can win on cuts, right? You got all of these guys that play wide receiver, but they not big bodies.
Yeah.
They're not guys that you can feel comfortable with in a 50-50 situation. It's got to be over their shoulder and catching the ball. I think once Christian Watson gets back, that's going to fix a lot of this explosive nature of this execution-wise.
There's all the other
pieces.
There's all the other pieces in place to do it.
Yeah.
The offensive line hasn't played good enough.
For sure.
They're getting healthier. Yeah.
I think he's the difference, man.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna be the difference.
Yeah.
Golly, if you think about how well they've done and their record and knowing that they still have more to give and more that can come along, that's pretty scary for their opponents down the road.
He ain't sudden.
Yeah.
He lifts the coverage.
The coverage and big.
And a confidence, I think,
Yeah.
to launch it.
Yeah. Coming up next, the Falcons.